Yo, yo, yo. What's up?
I like the sideways hat.
Rocking it sideways. Trying to save my voice. It's so, scrappy.
It's scruffy?
So scratchy.
Oh. Sounds fine to me.
Yeah, so I'm trying to save it. Drainage and stuff going on.
Yeah, you are snotty.
Yep. So. All right, you ready to do this?
I'm ready.
All right, we're going to do this, y'all.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Success in Black and White.
The podcast. We are back one more again. We are back.
We are back. I feel like it's been a long time.
It hasn't been.
It feels like it.
Why?
I guess because we recorded two at the same time.
Yeah, I guess so.
So we skipped a week.
We really didn't skip a week because we did it all at one time.
Right. I just mean in front of the microphones.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah.
So, what's up, everybody? We are gonna come to you tonight with something a little bit different.
Yeah.
We want to switch it up after last week and the week before episode, Code Switching Part 1 and Part 2, Real Talk. It was real heavy. Mm-hmm. And a lot of emotions and feelings went into that episode. So we're going to come back this time with something not lighthearted, but to answer some questions that people generally ask us all the time between the two of us. So we have a list, but we're going to pick out a couple of them and see what we get through in the next 30 or so minutes and hopefully answer some of these questions for some of the people that keep asking us the same questions over and over. And I feel like we've addressed some of them in previous episodes, but I feel like people have jumped in more recently. So They didn't hear and they may not know where to go back to get these answers. So we're going to answer them straight up, just like we didn't even put them in any other episodes. So
that's good.
Yeah, we'll go through and pick out a couple of questions and answer them for you all. For the new people that haven't had a chance to go back and listen in, give you a chance to know us a little bit better. And then for the people who have been with us, maybe update you on some things or kind of give you some further details or further insight on these topics or questions that we have before us tonight.
Yes, everything that he just said. Ditto.
I'm sipping my water tonight. My throat is a little scratchy.
Your throat is always scratchy.
No, not like this. Our son, he just be bringing germs and just distributing them to everybody in the house. It's like every week he's like, hey, y'all, check this out. Get this germ right here. I'm just like, come on, guy.
It'll get better.
For real. So where you want to start? Let's see, what question?
We have a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'll let you be.
You want me to decide where we start?
Yeah, and in charge of kind of keeping track of which questions we answer so that we don't double back on anybody. Okay.
So I think I'm going to start in the middle.
That's why I had you keep track of it.
You put me in charge of the questions. So I'm going to start in the middle. I'm going to start with this question from one of our listeners. How do y'all have time to do all the things?
Yeah.
Everything.
We get that question a lot.
We do get that question a lot. I think that you should start with a little bit of a back, for people who maybe are jumping in now and just starting to listen to us or haven't listened to some of our previous episodes, where they could get an inkling of, because we used to do life updates at the beginning of each episode, and we haven't done that in a long time because we try to keep them shorter after we got some feedback that people loved our content, but it was too long for them to listen to. So we really took that to heart. And so we cut out all of our life updates.
But people like the life updates.
But people like the life updates. And so we apologize to you guys. I think we try to kind of keep life updates on like social media. The past 2 weeks I've been terrible at this, and I know it, and it's for many different reasons. You've actually been better than me, which is usually flip-flopped. Like, I'm usually really good at like keeping up with our family and stuff and life updates on social media, and I just have not been.
Yeah.
And I actually don't apologize for that because it's been for good reason for me. But
Good.
That's usually where we are. So I think if we could just give a quick life update so people kind of know all the things we do have going on in our lives.
Yeah.
What's up with you?
Oh, just chilling.
Just chilling.
Yeah, just chilling.
No, what's really up with you?
No, seriously, just chilling. No, work is still work.
Yeah.
We still have the kids.
Yeah.
And
2 kids, right? So if you haven't been rocking with us, we have a 4.5-year-old and a 1.5-year-old.
And that's right. So we got the kids. Work is still there.
Yeah.
Obviously, the podcast, and then the business, which we're getting ready to ramp up a little bit more.
Right. And in the spirit of that, so I just want to put some context around this because we both work full-time at an institution of higher education at Florida State University. That's not a secret. You oversee fitness facilities and a lot of people.
Yeah.
And a lot of different programs and a lot of just moving elements that come with overseeing gyms, really, and very large gyms too.
Yeah.
Also, I think elements of your job, like I think about the fact that you, like this week alone, you were a panel speaker. And so you have these like different parts that you play within your job role and your job function.
Yeah, definitely. I'm involved obviously in my, I guess, the main portion of my job, which is overseeing all operations, directions of our fitness facilities on campus, which includes all the programming and facilities. And then I'm very involved with the diversity and inclusion work on campus. And then I also have a couple of other programs that I'm the lead on. So I don't think I've told anybody about the grant that I received for my Work It Out program.
Oh, yeah, that's a fun one.
Yeah, that's a fun one. So I started that initiative on campus for Black male mentorship on campus for the students to be mentored by the Black male faculty and staff in in a different way, not the traditional way where they come to the office and sit down and get mentorship, but where the mentor and mentee are actually, the new computer. The mentor and mentee are actually working it out figuratively and literally. So the mentorship is happening in a sense to where all of the guards are down. There is no hierarchy. They're both doing fitness related activities, and the mentorship is happening in that dynamic. So I'm very excited about that program. So I'm kind of leading that one up. That's kind of where my excitement is right now. So
I'm proud of you for that program for a couple different reasons. And I think that, first of all, there is a very clear need where you're working and for young Black males to have really strong Black male role models and people that they can go to and they can talk to and just share life experiences with. And then secondly, I think that we both, if you guys have listened to us long enough, we both agree that race is a social construct. Nevertheless, there's a lot of research written out there about how African Americans have poor health outcomes, and a lot of it is based around race. I don't necessarily think that skin color has anything to do with it, but I do fully believe that there is a lot of of physical and social angst and mental angst that can come down from chronic stressors that can actually be passed down genetically.
Definitely.
And I think that within the African American community, there is a lot of historical stressors that could potentially cause higher rates of chronic diseases like high blood pressure, diabetes, heart disease, those kind of things. And so I think that's where we see a lot of research. People are pulling, this empirical evidence research from, I don't necessarily think it's skin color, but I do think that there's chronic stress that happens. And so I'm glad that you're addressing this from a multifaceted lens. And I think it's super important in the realm of wellness, which is one of the things that we're both really passionate about.
Yeah, we're passionate about that. So, so that program I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
Other than that, just chilling. That's pretty much it.
He's not just chilling. So, in the meantime, he also comes home and, we try to have family time, and we're going to talk a little bit about that and some balance and stuff later. But after putting the kids to bed, he also does a lot of work on the business. And I would venture to say, like, our time anymore is really not balanced because you're constantly, like, making things better and updating the website and stuff. And that is a labor of love for the business that you do. So I appreciate that.
Definitely. I guess that kind of answers the question partially, how we do all the things. And I know a lot of people say, where do you find the time? How do you have time?
Right.
When you're passionate about something, you use your time wisely. I think for us, obviously work takes up time. You got to go to work the 7 to 8 hours. But when we come home, like, family time is important. We find time for the kids. When they go to bed, I could easily sit down and watch 4 hours of TV and fall asleep. But I think that my time will be better served putting it towards our business because I'm passionate about that and I care about that. And I know that if you care about something enough, you will put time into it. So if you say that, oh my gosh, I don't know how you all do it. Like, we all have the same amount of time throughout the day. And what I'm about to say might be repetitive. Or you have heard it somewhere before, but it's really how you allocate the time that you have. And that comes down to being disciplined. That comes down to making a choice. Do you want to use your time for this or do you want to use it for that? And where you find passion, where you find, purpose, I think is how we decide on how we use our time. And we definitely get that family time. And like you said, when the kids go down, I come and I work on the business stuff because that's what I'm passionate about. And there's purpose for me in doing that. And I'm not watching, I don't know what's Power and all of the shows that are on TV now that I see everybody talking about or hear everybody talking about. Like, I haven't watched any of that stuff. I don't know anything that's going on with any of that because I feel like my passion, my purpose for how I use my time is in our business. And, that's how I find time for all the things. So what about you? I say anything different?
No, I think that it hits the nail on the head, but I think it's good to talk about, finding what I'm trying to remember if this is on there. I guess it's and how do you do it all, but I think it's good to think about what balance, you need to have in your life between all of the different things, and you're always throughout the day, you're always a parent, you're always going to be working, you're always going to be thinking about all the things, right? So it's just a matter of prioritizing, kind of like you said. Like, for me, I also work full-time at FSU. My job is very different this year than it's ever been before in the past. And so there's a huge learning curve, and I feel almost like I'm starting at the bottom again after a decade of being in a field. And it's not a bad thing. It just means that my mental capacity is usually a lot more tired than yours is. I think my brain just goes so much, and so for me, there's a lot of like ebbs and flows of, sometimes I'm as passionate as this man is, but I would say, like, he is the heart and soul of the business. And so he's also very gracious whenever I feel like I need to step back and have time for myself or my family or my spirituality. And that is also the good thing about a partnership. is when you're in partnership together, I mean, that you kind of carry each other through those things too. So
Yeah, definitely.
I would say yes to the prioritization. Yes.
Also, we didn't tell them that this semester we're not teaching a class. We're actually taking a class.
That is true. Yeah.
So I get so excited every day.
I know.
Like when it's time for class. Like
Yeah.
I haven't been this excited about going to class or going to school ever in my life.
Isn't that, it's so funny too how it started, because I actually signed up for the class.
Yeah.
And then I went to the first day and I told her, I said, I don't know how, but I'm going to get my husband to come to this class too.
Yeah.
Because you never signed up for it.
I didn't sign up for it.
So I texted you and I was like, you need to come right now. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
And so you came.
And then I registered. Well,
and then you went to the
I
first day
registered
and
in
you
class.
registered while we were in class.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is going to be a great class. And it is a great class. And the problem for me now is that I don't always get the chance to get away and go to the class. So the funny thing is, I had originally registered for it. Daryl is usually always the one that's there. And I'm like rushing in if I'm coming from a meeting, or I'm like, I got to leave early because I got to go to a meeting. Like, just, the different priorities that you have to juggle in your day. But I think it's so
I love
funny.
it. I look forward to it every day. I'm like, I feel like I can go back to school if I could do this. I guess we didn't even tell them what the class was.
It's Leaders
in Entrepreneurship.
Leaders in Entrepreneurship. It's really good.
Yeah.
And we were learning a lot.
Oh, I've learned so much. Like, I'm like I said, I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
But, but if like I could go back and do that as my major or another major, or get a master's or something in that, like I get excited about going to class. I've never like gotten excited like I do. I'm like, oh, it's time to go to class. I'm taking my notes. I got my laptop. I'm engaged. But I guess, it's that passion and it's there. And this class covers that for us. So
yeah, there's a lot. And I really encourage anybody out there, like, utilize the resources that are at your disposal. This is something that was offered by our institution, and it was for
free for us.
Yeah, any pro staff.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
Leadership and entrepreneurship.
It's
Sign
really
me
cool.
up.
Yeah. And it's a lot. I mean, we're actually the only two in there who actually own a business.
Yeah.
Everybody else is in there actually works within the departments, and they have their own programs and stuff. And the crux of actually going to the class is not necessarily to start a business. It's actually to learn lessons from business and from entrepreneurs to help. For some people, it might have been starting a business, but for a lot of them, they're in there just to learn a different leadership perspective, which is really cool.
Yeah. So it's a good level up opportunity for us, though. Like, I've learned so much, and it also gets me to thinking differently about what we're doing, and that's also what excites me.
Yeah.
So, all right, did we answer that question? Let's get another one.
I think so. I don't, and I would just circle back and say it's not always a hard and fast, like, this is the amount of time you have to spend doing this and this and this. I think it's just like you said, like deciding what's important and prioritizing for you. And it's okay if your seasons shift.
Yeah, definitely.
And
it's okay to take a break too sometimes.
Yeah. Let's talk about, for the podcast, how do we pick our topics?
That has changed since the beginning.
Yeah. It has.
I think that a lot of times our experiences in that moment kind of dictate what the topic is going to be a lot of times, because we're living, everyday people living, everyday lives. So we kind of go through and see what we're experiencing and definitely seeing what some of the lessons are that we're learning, or in the process of trying to overcome or continue to push forward. We figure out some things, we learn some things, and we decide to share them with you all. So that's how the topics more recently have been picked. But before that, we would have a list of topics that we would intentionally go and pick and do research and find out information.
Yeah.
But I definitely think that now, because it relates to our experiences of what we're going through and how we're navigating, getting through those experiences and researching and pushing forward, that's where a lot of them are coming from now. So
yeah. Yes. We actually have a lot of sticky notes that we put on this like big sheet of paper that are like podcast topics. And that is where we draw a lot of them from.
Yeah.
I mean, the technical...
I don't think we've been to the board in a minute, though.
We haven't. The technical side of it, I mean, I'm just going to be real with you guys. It's like, I'm like, Daryl, what can you bring energy to tonight, right? And so I would just be like, hey, choose a topic. Let me know what's going on in your life that you want to talk about, and let's go for it.
Yeah. I feel like she always be throwing me out there. I'm like... All right, you need to pick something that gets you excited that you're going to put yourself out there.
I know.
She'd just be asking me. I'd be like, am I being interviewed? Like, you know what I mean? She'd be sitting over there like Oprah, and I'm sitting here answering all the questions.
I kind of want to be Oprah.
All right.
I don't know.
But yeah, that's how we pick our topics for whoever asks that question.
And, you know, I mean, honestly, not that I don't have anything to contribute to the conversation, because I feel like I do, but...
You do.
I think that you are so wise. Like, just a lot of the things that you've experienced and the way that you present them, I'm like, if you could ask her, I just think that people should gain your wisdom, honestly. I really do.
That's funny that you said that, because my mentees that I have for the Work It Out program, like they say the same thing. They just look at me and say, wow, I never thought of that. Like, that is, and sometimes I'm just like, hey, I don't even know. I mean, I know my experiences and just the way that
also, I mean, if you guys have been rocking with us for a while, you know we have very different brains and the way that we think.
I'm like an old young man.
You really are. Yeah, well, yeah. You are.
Why you hesitated?
No, that's true.
I'm an old young man.
Yeah.
I got an old spirit.
Yeah.
But definitely. So that's how we get the topics.
Yeah, so that's how we do them. Sometimes, like you said, we have a lot of data, we have a lot of notes. Sometimes, like today, we literally just took questions that people asked us or have asked of us.
And pulled them out.
And we're like, all right, here's what we're talking about tonight. So it's kind of a mixed bag. You never know what you're going to get.
I think it's good to do this, though, because people do... I'm starting to get people to talk to me now, though.
You really are.
I'm excited about that. Like, at first, nobody would talk to me. Nobody leave comments. Nobody. But you know what I realized, though? Like, a lot of the time and a lot of the things that we talk about, like, I do a lot of the heavy lifting.
Yeah.
So I feel like people are kind of hesitant with either asking me a question because they feel like they're prying, or because they don't want to be public facing with what they want to say or what they have to ask. So my inbox has been crazy.
Well, let's take these past 2 weeks when we did the code switch.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna get to that too. I got so much feedback. Like, that would be a whole episode by itself. I got feedback and comments for days. I was like, wow.
Yeah, that was a very heavy topic. If you haven't listened to it, please go back and listen. It's Code Switch. We did it in 2-part series because we talked so long about it one night. And it was really, really good, but it was a lot of your experiences.
Yeah, I did the heavy lifting.
Yeah, but also because it was a heavy lift and it was emotional, but it's very, very relevant.
Yeah.
Very touchy subject.
Very.
In business, in the corporate, in America today, about race in the workplace, honestly. And so what I noticed is we posted videos, we put like our usual 1-minute clips out there, and we were brave. I mean you were very brave, because I can post and there's really no repercussions for me.
Yeah.
So you were very brave in posting what you posted, and there were only a few people who would make any comments publicly.
Right.
A lot of the comments that you got in the feedback, which was all very positive, but it was behind a closed wall.
Yeah. Well, there were some people who were asking questions like, and I'm gonna get to those, but there were some people who, was curious about why I felt the way that I felt. Somebody even asked me, I'll definitely share this because I put it on social media. They was like, is this even still relevant? Why are we even talking about this in 2019? And I was just like, oh, like, for real? But definitely I'm gonna get to those. And there were people who were curious and wanted to know more. And one of the things that I had to share was, like, I'm not the spokesperson for all Black people. Right. So that was, I had to definitely put that out there.
But you shared a lot of relevant experiences that many people go through, and that you were brave enough to be a voice for.
Yeah.
I think that makes you very vulnerable. I applaud you for that. And
No.
Oh my gosh, the watch is...
Everything. She said she couldn't hear you. My watch picked up. They listening in.
I know.
Nah, come on. Keep going. Don't get off.
All right, because if we get on that rabbit trail...
Don't do it.
But they are listening.
They are
All
listening.
of your devices are listening, and we have stories to prove it. Anyway. Okay, so I think we kind of went... And just so quickly, somebody else asked us this. Have we considered interviewing other people?
Oh, yeah. A lot of people ask us that. I guess they get tired of us consistently over and over and over. So we have a list of people. We want to be strategic about the people that we're going to interview and bring on.
Yeah.
I think our list that we have right now that we're gearing up to start interviewing is going to be pretty good because they're going to bring diverse topics, diverse personalities.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about it. We do have some really good people that we're scheduling and we're planning right now.
Yeah.
And most of them are local. Also, we're going to explore the distance interviews with other people. We just haven't tried it. And
it kind of goes back to the how do you do all the things? And the reality is we want to bring a quality podcast every week.
Definitely.
And on top of the fact that we are very, very busy, which is not a great excuse, but it is excuse enough that we actually haven't had time to try out any of our distance interview options. We did one time and we were okay with the quality, but we think it could be better. And we don't want to bring you guys a distance interview where it's not a good quality interview.
Right.
We would rather talk through a topic or content ourselves than bring you junk in audio, if that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely.
And so we really want to do that, and we just have to prioritize that time, like we said before. So
we're definitely going to bring in other people and let them share their stories and how it ties into who we are and what we're doing. So I'm excited about it, and we do have some people lined up.
And you know what? If you think that you have a compelling story and you are one of those people,
definitely let us know.
Let us know. It doesn't mean that we would, automatically choose you or that we would choose you, but we would love to have the conversation with you to see if you're a good fit.
Yeah, definitely do that. So yes, to answer your question, we are going to interview other people and bring them into the mix and kind of share their stories and mix it up for you.
Yep.
All
absolutely.
right.
Okay, so since we're on the topic of podcasts, let's answer the last one regarding podcasts.
Okay, what is that?
And that one is, how did you learn how to do a podcast? Because this is actually one that we started off.
Yeah, we get this all the time. As a matter of fact, I've even been coaching people.
Yeah.
On podcasts.
Yeah, there was actually, we did a coaching call. We both did a coaching call one night.
Yeah.
With somebody who was thinking about starting a podcast.
Yeah.
I've done
a couple.
Some on your own.
Mm-hmm.
So honestly, it came about because one day I listened to a podcast and I thought we could do this, right? And that's honestly where it all started. Like, it was just a thought, we could do this. We're going to figure it out. And when I said that to Daryl, he's like, oh, great. Because, now I've got to figure it out.
Yep.
And so, but, that's what happened. And so I think, the number one thing to do, we hear this all the time. And honestly, it sounds so elementary, or maybe even we're talking down to people, but literally everything in my life, everything came down to the decision to just start.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't, and I just finished saying we like to deliver high quality, audio content to you guys, but we learned how to do that over time.
Yeah.
And
hit me up if you're interested. Hit me up, and I literally have the formula, and I will give it to you. Obviously, it's going to cost a little bit, but I'll give it to you, and all you have to do is literally follow it week by week. Yeah. And if you like our podcast, you think our quality is good, I can get you step by step to get exactly to where we are.
Right.
And it takes work, but once you get the hang of it, You can kind of figure it out. And then I can give you two sides to it. When we started out, we did everything with the free stuff, the free option. So I had that part of it. But then we figured that we wanted to level up, and we started paying for some of the programs that we use now. So I can give you that side, and I can give you the paid side. And the paid side isn't even like that expensive. It's like an annual fee, and you get the programs that you need, and you can do everything that you need to do with that program. So,
and the cost involved is, I mean, there's equipment and hardware.
Yeah.
You know?
But I can tell you exactly what it is. I'll give you the exact amount of what we're using and how we did it. And, link up with me. And if you want me to coach you through that, I definitely will. Like I said, we don't charge that much for it, but we do for the time and the resources that we put together to give to you. But I'll be glad to work with you and to get you set up and to get you on your podcast journey. And we even set you up with the first 90, like the first 3 months, and again, episodes set up for 3 months. We won't give them to you, but we'll talk to you and work with you through getting topics and things like that. So that's the main part. It's like you start and you get it, but like if you don't do it consistently, then that's where you fall off at. And it's hard sometimes to try to figure out a topic every week. That's why we have our board up there with all the little post-it notes, so that if we can't think of something, we can go pull one off. But in my plan, we'll get through the first 3 months of it, and you'll have topics on a weekly basis. And then if you decide you don't want to do it on a weekly basis, you'll just have 3 months worth of topics. So
there you go.
You got it.
There you go.
I'm here.
Yeah. But how did you learn how to do a podcast?
Oh, man. So I was very, very fortunate enough to have a friend who is a music producer who gave me the ins and outs and taught me about engineering and sound and technique. So that's something that a lot of people don't get.
Yeah.
So that's a knowledge that I was able to gain, and a skill set that I was able to gain from somebody who has been doing it for a long time and who had a vast level of experience, and they shared everything with me, and I just soaked it all up. And he is a music producer. Yeah.
He's very good.
Very good.
He actually does our intros and outros for us.
Yeah.
And he creates our own music.
Our music and sound bites and things like that. So,
and some of those things are like, there's legality with that.
Yep.
And those are things that like Daryl can walk you through, because they're things that you may, like, I would never have thought that we wouldn't be able to just play whatever song.
Yeah, take a song,
we wanted.
take a sound.
Yeah. You can't do that.
Yep.
Right? So there's legalities.
But working with DJ Vance, shout out, working with him and him sharing his knowledge with me. I mean, that's kind of where it started. I would just go and just talk to him, and he would just drop it on me, and I'd just take it all in. And then from there, kind of just doing my own research online and finding different ways to do different things. And, just kind of learned and trial and error, tried different things over time. And once we did a recording, I would save the file. And then from there in a WAV file. And then from there, I would just try stuff and see what it sounded like. And just kind of doing that over and over and messing around, I found out what works for us with our voices. And, I got that down pat, and I can talk you through how to do it for you and your voice as well.
Perfect.
Yes.
So,
what else?
I really want to hit this one before we have to jump off, because people ask me these questions all the time. Literally, social media, in person, run into me at work, all the time. I'm
what
talking about
question
this,
is this?
and I know people talk to you about this all the time. Why did you go vegan? And how do you manage life?
I know, right?
Not eating meat or dairy. God forbid. So
look, she came back on. My watch came back on as soon as you said about vegan. She was like, vegan.
Bam, I'm there.
What they talking about? I need to get in on this conversation.
Your watch is pretty nosy.
My watch about to say, where do y'all get your proteins from? From your mama.
The number one question.
That's what I'm gonna tell my watch. From your mama.
Your mama.
Your mama give me the proteins.
What do you think your watch's mama is? The phone?
I don't know. Yeah, probably so.
That's funny. The cloud.
The cloud. I get mine from the cloud. No.
Why did you go vegan?
Because of you. That's my answer. Because of you. No, seriously though.
Yes, but okay. I want you to further explain that because yes, I'm sure it was easier, but you're a man of your own will. Like, there is never anything that I could say to you that you'd be like, okay, I'm just going to do this just because you are. Like, that's just not in your nature, so.
I just fool you to make you think that it's not.
Okay.
It's whatever you say. Yeah, whatever you say goes. Shoot.
Oh, hey.
I done learned. Yup.
Oh, hey.
It ain't worth it. So I know that April went vegan for some health reasons. Mm-hmm. And we were buying, she was buying two separate like grocery meals. So she was buying her stuff and then she was buying stuff for me. And you know, if you're vegan, a lot of the stuff that you get is a lot of fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, things that go bad fast. So she was trying to take out all of her stuff before it would go bad. And I was still eating, you know, my normal way. And then, I told her, you know, to help with that, let me start with the process. And also I felt kind of bad sometimes sitting in front of her while she over there with her vegetables and stuff. And I got chicken wings. You know, I was just kind of like, I'm just eating these chicken wings all up in her face. And she having health complications to where, you know, her body wasn't allowing her to eat certain stuff anymore after our son was born. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to get on this journey with you. And then as soon as I said that, boy, it didn't take long for her to start to make the move. I was like, golly, like, no, ease me into it and that. So she tried to ease me into it a little bit. She tried to do it like little tricky ways. So she started like cutting the meat down to like 1 days out of the week. And then it went from like meat.
That's a big cut.
She was like, went from meat to like a half a chicken breast. I'm like, you might well just take the whole chicken breast out.
That is what he said.
And then she was like, okay. And then she ended up getting a whole bag of chicken breast to somebody. And I was just like, all right. And then I remember she took the cheese at the fridge and threw it in the trash can. And I was like, all right, this for real. So
it was for real. But
what the results?
Oh, yes, the results. But I was going to say, before I threw the cheese away,
yeah,
I made you listen to my health expert.
Oh, yeah. I was listening to them things all the time.
I know.
You had them, all them health. All the time. She had me watching all these little documentaries on that stuff. Like, none of that stuff really matters to me. Like, I can see that. It's just, it's choice. It's like, if I want to do it or not, that's what it's going to be.
Exactly.
By me watching something on TV, you know, for a moment, I'd be like, okay. But also after that, you'd be like, well, I've been doing it for this long and nothing ain't happened. So, but I made the choice and definitely the main reason was to support you. And I know that it was a lot easier to buy food for everybody one time. Also to support you by not eating all of that stuff in your face, knowing that you couldn't eat it. That's why you weren't eating it. And for me, it took some time. It took me 7 weeks before my body actually acclimated. I had a headache for almost 7 weeks. Mm-hmm.
I will say, I mean, food addiction is real, and people talk about it in terms of sugar or alcohol or whatever, but food addiction to things that we have been told our whole lives that we need, that we really actually don't biologically need, It's very real. I mean, you take away the cheese, you're going to have headaches for a while because there are substances in cheese that are addicting, you know.
Yeah.
And there's a reason for that. And I could get into that about, you know, about cows and how their milk supply is supposed to be like that for their calves. Their calves will drink it and gain weight. Anyway, it's all whole. I won't get into it. But there are a lot of health reasons that I did go vegan. And the fact is, before I met Daryl, I was actually vegan for 2.5 years.
I remember that. I remember when we were dating, I was the one that got you. I remember when you ate your first piece of meat.
Yeah.
Again, not because of me, but you were with me.
Yeah, I was.
So I remember when you weren't. I don't know if you were still vegan or if you were vegetarian, more vegetarian.
I was vegan.
But I remember when you was like, "Oh, I'll have a little piece."
And I fell off the wagon.
Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to say the stuff doesn't taste good. It does. The reasons that I was vegan the first time were health related. You know, the cruelty to animals in factory farms is sad and it's abusive. And I don't think it's the way that, like, if you're going to eat meat, I don't think that's the way to go. At the very least, grass-fed and free-range, if not, hunt your own. But I know that's not always possible for people. And then there's so much research, not only on the health issues that animal byproducts cause in humans, but also on the gas emissions and the things that factory farms are doing to the environment. And so that, like, in the face of everything, was just so much evidence, research, empirical evidence for me for the first time to go vegan. And so, you know, of course you fall in love and you start dating somebody and I'm like, I'm going to eat the meat.
Don't blame it on me.
I'm not blaming it on you.
Didn't you say earlier choice?
It was choice. I'm not blaming it on you. I'm just saying it was much easier for me to fall off the wagon when, you know, I was just like, you kind of get comfortable.
Yeah, you was tearing that cheese up. Cheese and crackers, and we used to have it all.
We did.
But I don't miss it at all.
You know, so this time when I did decide to go vegan, it was a lot. I still have all of my beliefs, you know, at heart. But the primary reason that I was prompted again is because I had a lot of health issues, really that started after I had my son. And that prompted me, and it took a while to adjust, but it really, really, really helped with a lot of the health issues I was having. And then just to see what happened to you.
I know, it's crazy, right?
62 pounds down since January. It hasn't even been a full year, and you've lost 62 pounds. And all of your blood levels.
I know, that's crazy.
That's the craziest part, because you used to be high blood pressure, not even borderline.
I'm mad that I got healthy though, because now the doctor, I got to go in every 3 months and give blood. Because I got too healthy too fast. I ain't never heard of that in my life. But I could understand though, because he was looking at my track record for the past 9 years. And then within 1 year,
everything went.
Yeah. So I gotta go in and get shots and give blood every 3 months. And he wants to keep track and make sure that everything is doing what it's supposed to. And my body changed too. So, but yeah, 62 pounds.
I know. I'm really proud
of
you.
I feel good though.
I didn't do it for a weight loss, and so I never had a starting weight measurement, and I never had an ending weight measurement. I don't know if I weigh more or less. That didn't matter to me. My internal issues are a lot better.
Yeah. I didn't do it for the weight loss. I didn't know that was going to happen like that. It just fell off. It fell off like water.
I know. I feel like now people ask us this, and honestly, the thing that I get asked the most now is not, I mean, sometimes people still ask, like, why did you do it? But the primary thing is, but how hard is it? Because you have to find recipes, and there's meat and there's dairy and everything, and how do you go out to eat? And the truth is, it can be hard. For us now, it's just our lifestyle. So like when you talk about at home, it's easy. Yep. So easy. We just don't have that stuff in the house.
Nope.
when we pack our own lunches, which we've always usually done anyway. And we have our restaurants that we know where we can eat. We know the people who are vegan friendly. And even if not, if we go out with coworkers, like you went out this week to a non-vegan restaurant and you just went straight to the chef and said, I'm vegan.
Hook it up.
Hook it up.
And
he did.
He did. He customized, made me something and hooked it up. But I like that though, because I get a lot of my stuff now fresh and hot off the press.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
When you tell them, they be like, we got you.
Right.
You like this, you like this, you like this.
Right.
And they just kind of take ingredients from each of their individual dishes and make me something. So it's real cool.
And I will say, like, the plant-based community, people who are eating.
I love those people. They're my people now. Like when we go up in the restaurant and when I see them, I'm like, y'all my peoples. They look at me and they start laughing. I'm like, no, seriously, y'all my people. The only difference is I just take a couple of more showers.
Funny. We actually just had the best date night.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we went to, it's a fully vegan restaurant. Fully vegan restaurant. Yeah. And so they don't serve any animal byproducts in anything.
Nope.
But their food is amazing.
Crazy
so amazing
good.
that I didn't tell you this, but I was talking to a guy from our institutional research in a meeting.
Oh, she was like, I didn't tell you this, but I was talking to a guy. What kind of talk are you doing?
In a meeting, we were talking about food and food choices, and I was telling him that we had just gone to the Bark, which is the place that we went to, and he was like, he goes, oh, I'm not vegan, but I go there all the time because they have the best food. I'm like, but they're fully vegan. He's like, I know.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I eat meat, but I don't care. I just go there because they have the best food.
Oh,
they really do. They have really good food. Oh. And so when we went, we had a great time. There was, we had the whole restaurant to ourselves.
Until the bikers came in.
The bikers came in. But we had a blast. And there was a pool table.
Yeah.
They have beer and wine on tap and the best menu in the world. And so we just had ourselves a ball.
Yeah. And when the people came in, I was just they so friendly and everybody just, I'm just like,
such a hippie
I'm
now.
like, these my people. Like, what's up? You know, it is funny, but I be for real though.
We have to move to the mountains and make our own granola.
I ain't say all that now. I ain't say all that.
So anyway, I think that's like, to me, it's just lifestyle. And I've told people before, I tell coworkers this, and I share with them, like, I'll text coworkers, recipes that I have, or like pictures of a dinner I make, because it really is, once you kind of get past the, oh, we have to have meat with every meal, or, oh my gosh, the cheese has to be like dairy cheese. That's not true. Once you can get past that, it's super easy. And it's like, I'm so much healthier overall, minus this stomach bug I just got, because nobody gets past stomach bugs that your children bring home. But minus that, I actually, knock on wood, have not been legitimately sick since January. And that's amazing for me, because usually I'm sick constantly. So
I feel good. I definitely can feel the change in my body. Yeah. And now I'm trying something new. I'm on a new journey that I'm just kind of sharing with y'all a little bit here and there on social media, but I'm trying to make gains while being a vegan. Yeah. Because I never really, I kept working out and lifting a little bit, but I'm about to test myself and also test this lifestyle and see if I can make some gains. So that's my new little journey that I'm on. I'm doing all right. I'm doing pretty good. So I'm interested to see how that works out.
I love it.
All right. Well,
you're looking good.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I told you, hey, you give me a couple of more months, you're gonna be like, why you always taking pictures with your shirt off?
I just halter tops 2020.
Oh, you just wait. I didn't make the 2020.
This was the campaign.
Well, it was. I don't think I'm working towards it.
Okay.
I'm working towards it.
I bet you still could in 2020.
I probably could.
Maybe
I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. Yeah. But y'all know. Y'all know. I'm gonna have. Why you posting all these pictures with your shirt off? Get ready. Get ready.
You're funny.
All right. That's it.
Yeah,
we got more questions, but we'll stop right there because our time is we way over time right now. So hopefully, you got to know us a little bit better. This is almost kind of like one big update session.
Yeah.
And we also answer some questions. If you have questions and you want to know, like, shoot them to us, and we'll do these periodically where we answer them for you.
Yeah.
To the masses, because I'm pretty sure other people probably want to know or are asking the same thing if you rock with us. We appreciate you. Keep listening. Until the next time.
Bye.
Peace.